to another Tonic Craft Kit unboxing video. This is for kit number 33, which is the White Wonderland colour trend kit. And this is the second colour trend for 2020, and the White Wonderland one, obviously by the name of it, is Christmas themed colours, so it's all sort of blues and silvers and whites, and so obviously this month's kit is also Christmas themed. As I'm filming this video though, unfortunately the kit has already sold out in the UK, so I'm afraid if you're in the UK then you've missed out on the kit, but I wanted to still do my video so that the people in the US can still see the unboxing, and also if you were lucky enough to get hold of the kit in the UK, you can still have a nice detailed look of what you're going to be getting in your kit at the beginning of July as well. So let's open the box and see what's inside. Also, actually, I'm going back to my old style of unboxing videos this month, because I have already made 4 cards with this kit, and if you watched the official unboxing video on the Tonic YouTube channel and Facebook page, Alison showed my 4 cards that I'd done. However, I was sort of rushing to make them, so I didn't get a chance to film them, so I'm filming the unboxing video now, and then instead of showing you any samples because I haven't got them with me, I will be doing videos with the kit. I'll probably do maybe just 2 this month, just because you know, if it's already sold out, it might annoy people if I put videos up when you can't get it. But yeah, so there'll be inspiration as separate videos this time, rather than me showing you some of the cards in the video as well. So I hope that's okay for this month. I've also finally got my first kit in one of the little boxes that you should be getting your kits in as well. You've probably had the small box for quite a while, but this is the first one I've got with in the small box. So it's a nice size because it's just sort of the A4 size of the cardstock. So let's have a look what's inside this month's kit. It's quite good actually. I can fold it this way so I'm not getting a shadow. So firstly, we've got another binder, because it's we're due for another binder. We sort of get them every quarter of the year so that you can fit 3 or 4 of your kits inside them. So we've got the binder. Then let's go through all the Nuvo stuff first. So tool wise for the Nuvo, this isn't part of the colour trend, these have been out for a while. They're these little like silicone blending sponges. We had a couple of them in a previous kit because I've still got them in my drawer here, and they're really great for... Did I actually use this one for... Yeah, I did actually. I used it with some of these mousses on the cards that I was making. But they're really great for applying mousses or for ink blending as well. You can do some really nice smooth ink blending effects if you're not that keen on the mini ink blending tools or the new kind of toothbrush style blending brushes. These are great for blending your ink, but also for all of your mediums as well. I wouldn't use glimmer paste or anything that dries like really rock solid like that, but for your mousses it's really nice to sort of glide across the surface and stuff. So you get 2 of these. I think usually they come in a packet of 4 of them, but you're getting 2 in the kit, which is plenty for using with what you're given in the kit. So we get those. Then we also get 4 items of like the main Nuvo stuff from the colour trend. So you get a full-sized bottle of jewel drops. So the jewel drops, if you've not seen them before, they are the translucent version of a Nuvo drop. So you have the normal Nuvo drops, the dream drops, the stone drops, the metallic drops, the glow-in-the-dark drops, the glitter drops, and then the jewel drops are, if you've used the Morning Dew one, we might have had a few jewel drops in the kits over the past few months actually. I can't really remember at the moment, but yeah, I'm sure we've had little mini jewel drops maybe, but they dry with this gorgeous translucent finish. And if you've had the jewel drops in the past and you wanted a comparison, you're like, why do I need another blue jewel drop? These are the previous 2, well, they're the only 2 that I have of blue jewel drops. This one came out in a recent colour trend. I can't actually remember which one it was now. It was either the Christmas one from last year or the Dream in Colour one. But anyway, it was in one of last year's colour trends, and it's more of a greeny blue compared to this one. And then the original blue coloured jewel drop, which was called Sea Breeze, is a much lighter blue than this new one. So it's definitely more of a deeper blue, so it's going to give you slightly more of an intense dewdrop colour, rather than sometimes these ones can just look clear depending on what colour you're using them on, whereas this should give you slightly more of a blue tint to your little drop as well. So I wanted to just show you a comparison of the previous kind of blue jewel drop colours that have come out, but that one's going to be really gorgeous. And you can also do different techniques with this. One of the cards that I'm going to do, I might actually just show you the background, the idea that I've got. I want to put dots of this on one piece of card, squish the two pieces together like you've seen me do in a lot of videos, and then I want to use some of the confetti and glitter and sprinkle it into it while it's wet. I think that'll look really cool. So I might show you that at the end of the video. I'm also going to show you the sparkle spray and mousses as well, just to give you some ideas of how to use them and stuff. So sorry, I haven't filmed a talking video in ages, so if I'm a bit all over the place, that's why. So you also get a mini of the sparkle spray, which is coming out in the White Wonderland colour trend, and this one is called Peacock Plume. I didn't even tell you what that was called, did I? Iceberg Blue. The new jewel drop is Iceberg Blue. I can't believe I forgot to tell you the name of it. Anyway, the sparkle spray is Peacock Plume. It's really gorgeous. So this is the little sample size that we're getting in the kit, but if you play with these, find out you really like them or you want more of this colour, the actual sized one is, how much larger is it? How many mils is this? 5 mils. So this one's 6 times the size. So you're just getting a nice little sampler. This still will last quite a while. There's still quite a few sprays in this little bottle, and also it's a very intense colour, so I tend to use it, well, all of the sparkle sprays are an intense colour, so I tend to water them down a lot. And if you wanted to and you had an empty spray bottle that's sort of like a dinky little one like this, you could shake this up so it's all mixed up and decant like half of it out and then top it up with water and get an actual diluted shimmery one as well. And that's what I do with some of mine. But that's the little one that we're getting in the kit, a little sample size. Then you also get 2 of the mini mousses as well. And these are actually there might be more than 2 mousses launching in this colour trend. But these are the 2 that we're getting in the kit, and they're both different as well. So at the end of the video I will go through all of the Nuvo products, just because there might be some of you that haven't seen some of the Nuvo mousses and stuff. So you're actually getting a normal Nuvo embellishment mousse and a Nuvo expanding mousse. So I wanted to kind of just show you like the differences and similarities between them. So I'll do that at the end of the video. But you've got a gorgeous little dinky pot of each of them. You still get loads in these. We had a mini gold one. I think it was in kit number 1 actually. We got a little Indian gold one. I'm still using that and it's still fine, and it's still going strong because I hardly use that much gold. But it's still going strong after how many years of the kit's been going now. So they do really last a long time. And it's really nice just to experiment and see if you like the different kinds of mousses as well, because they've also brought out crackle mousse now as well, which is another great one, and we had a pot of that in a previous kit. But these are the 2 that are in this colour trend that we're getting in the kit, and they are called Polar Wind is the actual embellishment mousse, and it's a gorgeous bluey silver kind of a colour. And then the expanding mousse is called Iced Aqua, and it's a really gorgeous colour. You can see it's matching perfectly this card in the background as well. Really gorgeous colour. I do really like this one. And the great thing about the expanding mousse is, I'll tell you more later, but when you heat it, it puffs up, but you can just use it like an embellishment mousse. If you don't apply any heat to it, it's just like an embellishment mousse. So if you don't like the expanding properties, you're basically just getting 2 embellishment mousses in this kit in 2 different colours that work really nicely together. So those are the embellishment mousses. Then there's also the new Confettis and Glitters from this colour trend as well. I've got all 4 of them here so that I can show you all the 4 different ones, but when you get your kit there will be a random selection of 2 of them. I presume you should get a glitter and a confetti or sequin, but it will be a random selection of 2 of the 4 of these. So in this little set we've got 2 different glitters, which is called Drifting Snow and Blue Blizzard. The blue, it is all the same colour, and it is quite similar to that kind of a colour as well. Really gorgeous. I don't know if we've got... It's definitely a bluer glitter than any of the, you know, like a light blue glitter than any of the other ones we've had in recent colour trends. So it's a really gorgeous... what kind of colour do you call that? It's like an ocean blue, isn't it, really? That kind of colour. Anyways, gorgeous, gorgeous blue. I haven't had a chance to use any of these confettis or glitters yet, so I'll definitely be using them in my videos. And then this one is Drifting Snow. I also haven't tried this one yet, so I might try it at the end, because some white glitters, like, some of them have such a iridescence in them that you can't see what's underneath them, but some of them allow you to see through them. So I'm going to test that out at the end as well, because I want to know what kind of glitter this is, because I think this is maybe the 4th or 5th white glitter that Nuvo brought out, but they're all different. They all have different interference colours, and they all have like that different opacity to them, really. Then you also, in that pack of 4, there's also the sequins and confetti. So you're going to be getting a random selection of the 4 of these, but I'll show you these up close as well. So we've got iridescent ice stars, and they're really gorgeous actually. I just show you the lid piece. Really gorgeous. Can see them on there. They've got that iridescence finish. If you had the were they called white cloud circles, and then there was another one like rainbow quartz triangles, that was it, that came out in the Dream in Colour colour trend, that were like little triangle versions. It's that same gorgeous white iridescent finish that was on those. So if you like that kind of a look, these are going to be gorgeous for you. I love this kind of confetti because it goes with anything, and this kind of iridescence, sometimes it picks up blue, or it can pick up pink or green, so it works really nicely with lots of different projects. So that's kind of why I like this sort of thing. And also it doesn't detract too much. If you've got it as like a shaker element in your card, it doesn't detract too much. Having it a white kind of colour with that iridescent interference, it doesn't detract too much. And you can see it's kind of a, not completely symmetrical, even kind of a shape, but it's a nice uneven sort of design, so it looks a bit like doodled kind of design. I really like that. I think that's gorgeous. And you could either use these in shaker cards, make a whole background with them, just sprinkle them across your project and use them more like sequins if you wanted to as well, or you could even use them in conjunction with other sequins that you've got as well. And then these are the Sub-Zero sequins, and usually these small pots usually just have one size of sequin in. Like for example, if you got the sequins in the Tropical Paradise kit that came out earlier this year, they were all the same size sequins, but these actually now, the small pots, have a mixture of sizes, which is brilliant. Because when you're scattering them across a card, it looks so much nicer if you have a mixture of different sizes. And getting them all in the same pot means you're saving money, because you haven't got to buy an excessive amount of different sized sequins. So look how beautiful they are, and look how dinky this one is. I think that's like maybe 3mm, 4mm and 5mm maybe. And they're gorgeous little cup sequins as well, so they've got that facetedness to them, so they really catch the light nicely. But really gorgeous. Can't wait to use those on one of my projects in the videos that I'll be filming later. Then you also get in this kit, which I don't have, you'll be getting the 6x6 paper pad that goes along with this colour trend. So all of the colour trends have a 6x6 paper pad that just gives you I think it's 36 sheets. maybe it's 24 sheets, I can't remember, but you get like a different variety of double-sided pattern papers that all go and mix all of the colour trend colours together. So that's a gorgeous extra to have, and it also makes the kind of card kit go further, because you can just use the pattern papers for your backgrounds and make lots of quick Christmas cards as well. So I haven't got that, but that'll be a nice surprise for you to see all the patterns from that when you get your kit. Then we also have all of the papers, which I have got all of the names here so I can tell you what they're called. So we have a classic Craft Perfect cardstock, which is the weave texture, and this one is called Misty Grey. I really like this colour. I don't actually own that much grey card. I think I have the deep grey. I've recently bought a packet of the deep grey cardstock that Craft Perfect do, but this is a really nice subtle grey colour, really lovely. It just gives that little bit of difference between the white of a card. You can see the difference between the white. It doesn't look that grey, but then as soon as you put the white on it, it pops out nicely. Then the next one is the holographic mirror card. Oh my goodness, these are gorgeous. Look at that. You get that cool rainbow in it. It's a blue version of the Hollow Waves that came out in the Dream in Colour Trend collection, and the Inca Gold, which came out in the last colour trend, which was the Tropical Paradise. It's just a blue version of that kind of style of card. I really do love this kind of style. I used to love like rainbow holographic sort of card, but I used to really struggle with trying to get it onto a card and still look like I wasn't only 10 years old making a card still, and I just loved all the holographic. But this kind of rainbow style card, it still looks nice and sophisticated on your card, especially if you have like a skinny little border around something, or you cut a intricate element and then cut one out of a plainer colour and you sort of shadow them so you get this sort of hinting behind it. Or this would look stunning paper pieced as well, just having hints of this gorgeous rainbow. So I really do love these rainbow cardstocks. Well, they're called holographic mirror cardstocks. Then the next one I will just show you a snippet of, because otherwise you'll be able to see everything reflected. This one is another gorgeous mirror card, but this one's just a normal mirror card. You can see here actually it's much harder to see the reflection clearly in the rainbow mirror card than you can see my blind there. That's also showing my blind, but it's really difficult to see it properly on the rainbow. But the normal mirror card is really like a mirror, and this one is called Turkish Turquoise, which was also a gorgeous colour to work with as well. Then we have one of their double-sided pearlescent cards. I do really enjoy these, and these are great for paper piecing as well. And that's what I love about getting one sheet of each of these cardstocks as well. It means you can have a nice variety of different types of cardstock to paper piece with, and you haven't had to buy a whole pack of each of them. You've just got a nice little selection to play with, which I really like. And this one is called Caribbean Sea, and it is really gorgeous blue. I really love this blue colour. Then we also have, this one is also beautiful. I think this is a really new style of card. There was one that came out called Silver Silk, but I think this is different to it. It seems more like dainty pinstripes than the Silver Silk one. So I think this is a new kind of specialty card, and this one is called Silver Pinstripe. But this is really lovely too. I did really enjoy cutting this one as well, and that pinstripeness sort of stays when you've cut it as well. It's like lenticular, you know, like those trading cards you used to get that had like a lenticular finish on them and the picture would change. It feels like that, the kind of texture that's on it. Then finally we also get, I think this is right, this one, which is a handmade paper, one of their cotton papers. We've had a design similar to this before. I think maybe it was ages ago. Some of the original ones they brought out that had this tiny little design on it, but it looks like sort of fall and confetti on it, and this one's called Arctic Ice. but it's really gorgeous, this one. This is the first sheet I've had of this, so I've not tried this one yet, but really pretty, really nice. So I can't wait to try that out on a card as well. And even these cotton papers work nicely for paper piecing as well. You might want to use it for bigger areas so that you can still see the gorgeous patterns, but even the cotton papers do work nicely for paper piecing. So that is the cardstock that you get in this month's kit. And don't forget, you also get that paper pad that I haven't got to show you. And then I'll show you the stamps and dies as well. Oh god, I've been talking for ages, wow. Oh, you also get a stencil this month's kit as well. I forgot about the stencil. So, these are the dies that you get in the kit. It's quite nice to get them in the real packaging so I can show you how they come. So you get them stuck on a piece of acetate with these strips of foam tape, and then they're in a cellophane bag that's all sealed up as well. You can just keep them like this and keep them in your folder, but depending how much you like to use your dies and take them on and off, and you know, I mean, like, you could take them off once and cut them like 50 times and then put them back on and the sticky would be fine. But if you're like me and you're always taking them off, using them, putting them back on, taking them off, using them, putting them back on, I like to store them on a magnetic sheet. So I just cut A4 sheets down into a roughly an A5 kind of size that will fit in the pocket of this folder. It should fit, hopefully. Maybe I need to trim that a little bit more. But anyway, that's how I keep all of my dies. So, I think this month's die set is a really nice versatile one, and you can use it for smaller or larger cards as well. I think on all the cards that I made that were shown on the Tonic live video, I mainly just used the ones that were this size and smaller, and then the 2 extra ones, but I have got an idea to include this larger frame but onto a smaller card for one of my videos as well. So this is like one of Tonic's layering die sets, so they call them verso dies. So you're getting, like, basically this is the layering die set basically, and they go inside each other like this. But then, as well as getting all of these layering dies that build up like this, you also get all of the patterned pieces. So it gives you so much versatility that you could just cut all the pattern pieces separately, or all the pattern pieces together into one piece of card and have all of the detail but it be completely flat. Or you can bring in these extra dies and cut out the layers and completely decoupage it upwards. Or you can just use portions of it and use it to create shaker cards, spinner cards. I really want to give a spinner card a go, because you're getting 2 of these art shapes. So I think the small one spinning inside the larger aperture would look really lovely. And yeah, so the way all of these verso dies work is that the ones that I'd left on the magnetic sheet just now, they don't have a cutting edge. So if I cut this into the card, it would just give me this pattern. There would be all the card around the edge and this would be solid in the centre. But I really do like the way that Tonic give you that versatility of having the separate edge on the inside and the outside, because especially when you're making Christmas cards and you don't want to spend too much on new products, if you've got this kit, it gives you so many different combinations or variations that you could use these dies with, but it would make it look like it's a completely different die set. And especially that you have the stencil to go with this one as well. But anyway, let me show you these up close. Sorry, I haven't filmed a talking video in ages and I feel like I'm just rabbiting on about a load of nonsense. But anyway, so this is the outside frame. It's got a gorgeous swirly design. As I said, I haven't actually cut this one yet, but it's got really gorgeous swirls in there and also holly leaves on the corners, which would be really lovely. And this almost makes a heart in the centre here, actually. I just seen that. And then you obviously get the next plain size in, and then the next one gives you this gorgeous diagonal with a sort of border around it. Or one of the cards that I had done for Tonic that they showed on their unboxing, I actually came round and snipped here, so I got a really thin kind of frame with these big squares in the corners, and that looked really lovely as well. and then you've got the next layer down is the first sort of arch shape. Then you've got a kind of mosaic looking design in there that's also verso edge, so you could cut that just into the card, or you can cut it completely out. You can have it as a solid shape with the intricate design around the edge. Loads of different ways of using it. And then you also get 3 different patterns to go inside. So you get the plain edged one here that fits perfectly in this kind of layered up design. You also get the scalloped edge one, and you also get this one which just does piercing. So on one of the cards that I haven't got to show you, which is typical, I had done this piercing effect straight into the card and then cut the design inside it, so you got that look of an arched window, but I hadn't actually cut it out of the card. I just used multiples of these to kind of create a background sort of look to a card as well. And then the 3 different designs that you get are 2 bells with a gorgeous bow at the top of it. Then you also get a Christmas tree with the lines radiating out of the star. And then you also get this one, which is a couple of baubles with bows on the top. And I think this is a ribbon coming around the bottom as well. But really gorgeous designs. And actually, this one, if you just use this middle section with the bells on it, would make a really great wedding card as well, because there's nothing about that middle section that says Christmas at all. There's no holly within the bow die set. Oh no, there is holly. There is holly, but actually you could cover that so that you wouldn't be able to tell. I just realised there is a holly leaf there. But you could easily add some extra flowers or star confetti or something and create a wedding card out of this as well, which would be really lovely. So that is the die set from this kit. Then you also get the stencil, which actually matches perfectly with this design. So if I bring out this one, you can see if you cut a panel with this die, you could then have the stencil over the top, scrape it through and do the expanding mousse and have a panel this size with that complete design on it. Or you can bring in this die as well, and you could have a frame just with that intricate design on, or you could just have this intricate piece with the poinsettias on. Or on one of my cards I did the poinsettia piece onto another piece of card, and I think I just used embellishment mousse rather than the expanding one, and then I cut this aperture into my actual card front and layered the poinsettia behind it, so you can do that kind of thing as well. And then on another card that I had done, I'd actually I did a mixture of the normal mousse and the expanding mousse all over it, and I heated it, and even where the expanding mousse, even whether it was just the normal mousse, because I'd mixed expanding mousse as well, it kind of puffed in those areas too. And then to finish that card off and make it still quite a simple card, I took these 3 dies, and all I did was literally just cut that. Maybe I did it from a couple of different colours, and then raised it up on 3D and just had that to sort of emphasise the poinsettias in the centre of the card. These extra little dies are really nice for just emphasising that stencil design as well, to give a different look. And you also get Merry Christmas on here, and although that looks really fine, it does actually come out really nice and legible even if you use expanding mousse through it. You still get a legible greeting, which is really nice. So you could have made your entire card out of the dies, and then you could just stencil the sentiment and snip it out and have the sentiment just sitting across here on your card as well. I think that looks really nice. So you get the stencil too, and you also get the stamps as well. So you've got a couple more sentiments in the stamps. So you've got Merry and Bright and Happy Holidays in a gorgeous scripty kind of a font, and then you've got a few extra little accent pieces. You've got this little, like a holly, it's got holly in the middle and then like 2 branches coming off either side, and the way they've curved that, you can see would fit nicely around that central portion of the stencil. Or you could stamp it at the top of this arch, I think, as well. Yeah, it would go really nicely at the top of the slightly larger arch, so you could have that across the top and then layer up the intricate design on the inside as well. and you also get a tiny little star, which I was just using to embellish some of my Nouveau backgrounds. And then you've also got this little cluster with, I think it's got a bauble in it. Yeah, I think that is a bauble. And then a little cluster of holly and a couple of other bits of foliage and stuff in there as well. And then a little cluster with a pine cone and some foliage, and then a little holly as well. So I've been talking for way too long, but that's everything that you get in the kit, and I'll be back in a minute to show you some of the Nouveau stuff and a couple of ways of how you can use it and make some cool backgrounds. Okay, so firstly, let me show you that idea that I said about squishing the Nouveau drop between two pieces of card and sprinkling in glitter and confetti. So I'm just going to cut this in half so I'm not wasting too much card to just show you a technique, because you need two pieces of card for this. So what you want to do is take one piece of card, take your jewel drop, and this doesn't use as much as you think, because all you're doing is like dropping maybe 10 actual Nouveau drops that you would actually make on a card, so it's not too much product really. So you just sort of do them all over just to get a random pattern. If you imagine as this squishes out, you're going to get more concentration on the two ends and less in the middle, just to give a sort of variation in what it's going to look like. Then you take your other piece of card, press it on the top, pick it up, gently squeeze it. You can wiggle it from side to side as well to get a different look too. And then you just want to pull them apart quickly, and you get this gorgeous veiny textured design. And then whilst that is still wet, you could repeat that if you wanted to, if you hadn't got enough drops on there, if you wanted to. But then all I'm going to do is sprinkle in some of these gorgeous white, what are they called? Iridescent ice stars. Sprinkle some of those into it while it's wet. Because you could actually just do backgrounds this size and have them behind the aperture from the die set as well, the small little arch aperture. That would look really nice if you didn't want to use too much of your Nouveau drops, but you'd easily get 2 Christmas cards out of this. Then, as well as putting that on, I'm going to try some of the drifting snow glitter and just sprinkle some of that in as well. You can also do this with all of the different types of drops, so you could use the dream drops, or the glitter drops would look lovely because you've already got glitter in it then. But loads of different ways you can do this. You can either tap glitter in if you're careful, or you can pinch it and sprinkle it in if you want to as well. But there's loads of different ways you can do this kind of technique, and you can also do this with the mousses if you want to. You can put the mousse down, press it together and pull it apart, and get a cool look that way as well. So that's just a quick background, a sort of messy, quick kind of background design. And actually, that looks like a letter E. If you knew someone whose name began with an E, you could actually do that as a card for them, because it kind of looks like an E. And that one would make another E actually, because you can flip it up the other way. But anyway, that's just one idea that I had that I wanted to try out. So you might see that in one of my videos as well, as one of my backgrounds on the cards. Then I also wanted to show you, if I get a piece of this card should do, it's just a dark purpley coloured card, and then if I take, if I show it to you with some ultra sticky tape, because this is really clear, so you should be able to see what I mean about being able to see through, got a bit of tape stuck on there, being able to see through to the colour underneath. So imagine this piece of card is a background that you've made, or a patterned paper, maybe one of the ones from the paper pad, and you just want to jazz it up a bit. We're just going to see how this white glitter works on top of something that's already coloured. You can see that tape is completely clear, so we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen with this, whether it's going to obliterate the colour underneath, or whether it's going to be a nice sheer glitter where you can still see what's underneath. So I think this is going to be quite a nice sheer one actually, and it will just give you a pink tinge rather than completely like obliterating what's under there. So you just want to press that glitter in nice and firmly into the tape so none of the sticky is left. And then we'll just put this back in here. This has got a really gorgeous pink tinge to it actually. this will really show you what this glitter looks like. Yeah, so I think this glitter would work really nicely for those kind of techniques, going over the top of something, because you can see it does at some angles catch the light and show you that mica-y effect, but it's not obliterating the colour that's under there. You can still actually see the colour that's under. So yeah, I think this would be a really lovely glitter to use for those kind of background sort of techniques as well. And you can really see the gorgeous pinky tones that are in there. So that is the gorgeous glitter that you might get. I'm sorry if you don't get it, but you might get the drifting snow. And if you do, that's one way that you can use it, or and also sprinkling it onto this background. But you could also use the blue glitter for this as well. Then I also wanted to show you this background that I'd done. So this was using both mousses and the sparkle spray with some water to create this gorgeous sparkly, inky, messy kind of background. I love this veining effect that you get, and I thought I would just show you how I created that. So this is one I did when I was making the cards that I sent to Tonic. I did 2 backgrounds because I wasn't sure if I was going to do 1 or 2 cards and have different ways of using the dies on top of them, but I ended up just doing 1, so I still had the background left. So the way I do this is I use the little white mat that came with my glass cutting mat, and then you just, any piece of card to work on, it doesn't really matter the quality of the card for this. And then I will use my bigger pots just because I've already opened them. And you just want to scoop out, this is the gorgeous colour, this is the normal embellishment mousse, and you just want to scoop out a little bit of it and just scrape it in areas onto your mat, so you're not being precise about it at all. You could do your Christmas cards like this, and you know, this pot would make hundreds of these backgrounds really, because you're hardly using anything. So that's the colour of the normal embellishment mousse, and then this is the actual colour, seeing it open, of the expanding mousse. And again, I'm just going to use my palette knife to pick out a little tiny bit of this. It's like less than a pea size really of that, and just spreading it around the background like this. Then I'll also use my full-sized spray because I've already started using that, and I didn't clean it out actually, so hopefully it won't be clogged. So with the sparkle sprays, you just want to shake it up nicely so that all of the shimmer is actually in solution and you're not just sucking up pure sparkle up the uptake tube. And then you just want to do a couple of squirts of this on your background. You can see it's a really intense colour, and I've got it all over me. Actually, if I take a paintbrush, I will show you exactly how intense the colour is. So it's a really, really intense colour, but if you add some water to it, I'll just put some water here and get a little bit more of that. You can get some really nice variations in the colour the more water that you add to it as well. If you, obviously it thins down the sparkle too, but if you don't want such an intense colour like the actual spray, this gives you more tones of blue that will go with all of the different papers and cardstock and everything from the kit as well. So you can really adapt the spray to whatever you want to do. So that is how I started this background that I'm showing you, and then I just took some water and sprayed it onto here to sort of loosen up some of the products. And then you can just take your palette knife again and sort of mix it up a little bit. You don't have to mix it up, but you get less sort of chunks on your background if you do sort of help the mousse get into a sort of solution with the water that we've put on. So you can just gently sort of mix that in, and you can even move the sparkle around so it's not just in the 2 places that you sprayed it as well. And then all you want to do is just take your cardstock and press it in. And you can also dry this in between and then press it in again to get even more depth. Like this is the one I did before, and you can see I'm pretty sure I dried this and then added another layer, and then you get the sort of veining effect in a different direction as well, which is really lovely. But you can make this go on for a long time because you can keep adding more water or more of the sparkle spray or a bit more of the mousse and stuff, and really make this go a long way and get a lot of backgrounds out of it. But I just think it gives a really cool effect, and some people don't think to use the mousses like this. So although the mousses you can use with the sponges that you get in the kit, or you can scrape them through a stencil and use them thickly as well, you can also create really cool backgrounds like this with them too. So I will just leave that to one side and I'll use that up in a minute. And then the other thing I was going to show is, or just let you know, like the difference between the mousses, because I know not everybody who watches my videos has like seen every single video that I've done, so you might not actually really know what the mousses are, and I don't think I've done an up close video on embellishment mousse. I think I did one on the expanding, but I don't think I did it on embellishment mousse. But anyway, so you can use the embellishment mousse in so many different ways. You can blend it onto your card, you can brayer it onto your card, you can use it on the jelly plate, you can spread it thickly, you can water it down and splatter it, you can just apply it with your finger as well, and you can use it to pick up the raised texture on embossed card, whether that be card that you've bought that's already embossed or something that you've embossed with an embossing folder. You can rub it over your die cuts, so say you've die cut something, you don't think it's quite the right colour to go with your card that you're doing, you can add your embellishment mousse to it and change the colour of it, like without having to re-die cut it and stuff. So loads of different ways you can use it, and you can also water it down and make it into more of a paint-like consistency and just use it as an mica-y watercolour. And then, so that's the original kind of mousse. Then they brought out expanding mousse, which is, if you think of it as exactly the same as an embellishment mousse, so anything that you do with an embellishment mousse, you can do with the expanding mousse. So you can spread it on thinly, you can make it into a paint, you can use it thickly through something, and if you don't heat it, it will act exactly like an embellishment mousse. But with the expanding mousse, if you do it through a stencil, or you just want some texture on something that's more mixed media-y and you just scrape it onto your card, you can heat this and it will expand. That's why it's called expanding mousse, because when you add heat to it, it gets a puffy kind of texture to it. So if I show you a sort of thinner application and a thicker application, and then I will heat this just to show you as well, and that'll be the last thing because this video has been going on for ages. So you can use any kind of heat tool as well. It doesn't matter whether you have the Ranger one that's more for sort of background drying, or whether you've got a pointy one that's more for heat embossing. Either of them work, so you don't have to have a specific heat tool. Okay, so this is the kind of cool effect that you can get with it, and if you look at the different depths that I applied it, so here I applied it really thinly, and it hasn't puffed much, but what it does is it takes off that sheen that you see here, and it kind of gives it like a suede kind of look to it when you do it thinly, which is a really gorgeous look. Or if you add it a bit thicker, you can get this sort of more delicate bubbly texture, or if you add it a lot thicker, you can get this really kind of bubbly sort of texture. Or if you apply it through the stencil, you get this really lovely kind of domed bevel effect where it kind of it puffs in the detail. It looks so gorgeous. I'm kind of too lazy to clean a stencil, but I will just use this one and do a little bit just to show you through a stencil, because it does look so gorgeous through a stencil. The first time I actually used this, when the original colours came out, I did it through a stencil and I fell in love with it. So but if you don't like this look, that's a bit messy, but if you don't like this look, you can just use your little pot that you're getting just as a normal embellishment mousse as well. You don't have to use it in a 3D manner. That'll do. Okay, so now if I heat this one, you can see how lovely it looks through a stencil. So there we go, you can see how gorgeous that looks through a stencil. It kind of looks like elephant skin or something as well. Really gorgeous look. So, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing video. I'm so sorry that it's already sold out in the UK, but hopefully those of you in the US enjoyed this video and, you know, enjoyed getting to see everything that's in it. And those of you who are in the UK, hopefully this was a nice little video so that you could see what you're going to be getting if you manage to get hold of the kit as well. And I hope you enjoyed like this little explanation of some of the Nouveau stuff too. I thought just because I didn't have any cards to show you that I thought it'd be nice just to show you a few things that you can do with the Nouveau stuff in case you're not quite sure how to use it. And hopefully there will be at least 2 videos coming up over the over this month before the 1st of July showing you how I've used this kit on a few more cards as well. But don't forget to go and watch the official unboxing from Tonic as well, because there were 4 of my cards there. Vicky had done some cards, Alison had done some cards, so lots of inspiration over there as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye!